Well, hello YouTube viewers. Are you bored? Are you flicking through YouTube, nothing to do with your life apart from looking at vacuum cleaner videos? Well, here's another one for you to while away a few more idle moments while you're doing F-all, slobbing about at home. You should be outside, you know, having fun. But anyway, you're not. You're inside at a computer or looking at an iPad or your phone, and you're looking at this prat showing you this Vax new but old vacuum cleaner slash carpet washer. I've done an unboxing earlier, which you may have seen, and I might have whetted your appetite for more. So today in this video I've not actually used this, it's unused, new out of the box. I'm going to show you basically how to set it up for carpet washing. I'll do a little bit of a test run on some carpet and maybe clean a bit of upholstery as well. Instead of the vintage shampoo that came with the machine, I'm using Vax's latest Ultra Plus shampoo, which you can do. This takes 4 litres of water, so I will be diluting the Ultra shampoo according to the instructions. So basically this is the machine set up for dry use. So it's like a normal canister type vacuum cleaner. You've got your hose, your extension tubes, you've got your main carpet and floor nozzle there, and around the back of the cleaner, what's the daisy, you've got your 3 small cleaning tools. Your upholstery nozzle, your crevice nozzle, and your dusting brush there. It's a bagged vacuum cleaner when you're using it for dry use. When you convert it to wet use, you remove the bag and the filter and you place in the special reservoir. It's got an 1100 watt motor, variable electronic speed control located here, and you've got your on-off switch. This, unlike most Vax models now, it's not pumped. The solution comes through, it's a mixture of gravity and the suction pulling the solution through, but I'll show you all that when I do the wet demonstration. So without any further ado then, let's set this Vax 2100, 2100 or whatever you want to call it. We'll set it up for a bit of washing carpets. Okay, so before we use the machine for carpet washing, we need to change it over from dry to wet use. So I'll just take the hose out initially and remove the motor unit by releasing the 2 clips at the side and putting that to one side. This is the dry filter, which you must always remove before using it for wet. You could cause a bit of damage to the motor if you fail to do so. So that's a dry filter, which I'll put to one side. Also, you need to remove the dust bag if fitted. And that just slides out. It's on this little holder, so when you remove it from the cleaner, that little flap comes up and seals the dust bag. So that's that, you just put that to one side and then you're left with the empty reservoir. This is where the dirty water will collect. Then, next job is to fit the clean water tank, which is here. This takes 4 litres of warm to hot water. You don't want it boiling hot, but up to 60 degrees, Vax say in the instructions for this model, you can do it. So that's more than really hand hot. About 50 degrees would be hand hot, but 60 is just a bit too hot to put your hand in for a long period. So for best results, I'm going to put as hot a water as I can in here, and there's a maximum fill level. So what I'm going to do is put the shampoo into the tank first, then put the water in, and then we'll fit it into the cleaner. Right, well, I've filled up the tank with 4 litres of water and 160 millilitres of the Vax Ultra Plus solution. If you're using a different cleaning solution, obviously follow the instructions. It normally gives you an idea of how many mils to put per litre. With this Vax Ultra Plus, you use 40 mils of solution per litre of fluid. So my basic maths tells me that 40 times 4, which is 4 litres, is 160 ml. Looks a bit foamy because I've filled it rather quickly with a tap. It's quite forceful flow, so it's gone a bit foamy at the top, but underneath it won't be too bad. So normally I'd let that settle a bit because it does look a bit foamy. I don't want it over foaming and getting into the motor. But anyway, that is the solution in the clean reservoir. The next thing we need to do is put this solution pipe. Now, although this cleaner is brand new, this solution pipe has actually discoloured. It's gone a bit brown. I have been online. You can buy complete new solution pipes for the older Vax cleaners from several online retailers for about £5 for the whole thing. Doesn't include the little metal spring water weight thing that holds that. That's separate. If you need to buy that, you can buy that as well. Anyway, there's a little groove just in the front of the reservoir, so you need to put in a fair bit of tube so it wraps around the central column. Just make sure you've got plenty in, and then you just push it just into that little recess there. Next thing you do, you put the motor unit on top. Oops, a daisy. Pop it on top like that, and click the 2 orange clips like this. And while I'm at it, I'll just undo the flex, ready to plug it in. And also, before I do anything further, I'll just point out the electronic speed control on this. This enables you to vary the power, lower it. I believe it goes down to, in fact, say 400 watts, right up to 1100 watts. But when you're actually washing the carpet, there's this setting here that's recommended. But when you dry the carpet after you've applied the shampoo, you can turn the dial up to maximum to get as much moisture out of the carpet. Now we need to attach the hose. That just fits in, and you give it a twist. So that's securely in place. And I need to now remove the carpet and floor head. Incidentally, I didn't realise when I showed this in my unboxing video, although this is quite a standard head, this is actually German, made in Germany it says. So it's quite a good quality head, but still fairly basic. If I was using this machine on a regular basis, I'd want to probably put a better head on that. But for most people, that's probably adequate. So I've got the hose attached. I've also got the stainless steel tubes attached. Now you need to attach to the end the washing nozzle. You get 2 with this model. You get this small crevice-y type, no, it's not a crevice-y, you get this small upholstery nozzle. This is for your upholstery, your car seats, all sorts of places. That's Daisy out there doing something naughty, if you can hear a bit of dog action. There we go, and that's the main washing head, which uses Vax's, used to call it fibre flow technology. So basically on this head, the shampoo is introduced to the nozzle through that hole there, through the pipe, and it comes out here either side of this black bar, and you've got suction channel front and back, so as you're pushing and pulling, it's distributing shampoo into the pile but also sucking the dirty solution out at the same time. So it shouldn't, in theory, overwet your carpet. It's quite hard to overwet your carpet with this type of nozzle. Right, so you just pop the nozzle, it's just a twist fit onto the end, and then I've got to go through the rigmarole of attaching the rest of this tube and release lever to the hose. So it's just a question of clipping these clips to the hose, and I'm going to absolutely murder those dogs. I don't know if you can hear them outside there. They've been banished outside, but well, it's Molly, she's been very naughty. So I'll just clip the solution tube to the hose. You want to do it so you've got plenty of slack This is a very old-fashioned way of doing things. Even when Hoover launched their second generation of Aquamasters, they incorporated this small tube inside the main hose, which made things a lot neater and a lot easier to set up. But with this 90s Vax, I have to do it the old-fashioned way. This is the trigger release, which slides onto the underside of the handle, and Molly is for the high jump. Spoiling this video, I'll kill her. That's fitted on there. So you can use this in two ways. You can actually squeeze this to release the solution temporarily, or you've got that little orange lever there that holds the solution trigger open, so you're constantly releasing solution. Right, so that's all there is to it. I've filled the machine with the shampoo solution. It's in the reservoir, and I've attached the shampoo solution tube. It's clipped along the length of the hose, and it's also clipped to the extension tubes, and I've got my washing head on, and the shampoo tube is going into the top of the head. Now, in order to start the solution flowing, because unlike later models this doesn't have a separate pump, I've got to leave the hose in this position, which will allow the gravity and the suction to help pull it through to the nozzle. Once we see solution appearing at the end of the nozzle, we'll be ready to use the Vax. But before I do, I have to make sure we've got the trigger in the open position. So yes, that's off and that's on, I believe. If I'm wrong, I'll soon know. This is the first time since its maiden voyage. It's never had shampoo running through here, so I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if there's going to be any leaks, but we'll soon see. Let's switch on and find out. Right, it was in the off position. The trigger was in the wrong position, so it wasn't coming through at first. So now we've got solution in the tube here, and it goes all the way to the washing head. So I know it's worked. It didn't need any of the suction either to pull it through. The motor was sufficient power to actually push it through to the wash head. Right, I'm going to just test, because my carpets are shampooed more than average and they're not dirty. The living room carpet gets shampooed more than any other, but it's been done fairly recently. This mat here that we have by our patio doors, this is the main entrance to our home. So this is the mat that we step on in our outdoor shoes before we take them off. This is the mat the dogs walk through. Even so, I'm not expecting loads of muck inside the Vax, because again, this has been done within the last week or so, but it does get fairly dirty quite quickly. So we'll just give it a go, shall we? Now what I'm going to do with this particular carpet, because it's very hard to push, it's because of it's a rubber backed carpet, so it's very hard to push. I'm going to just lower the suction initially, which will mean that more shampoo is put onto the carpet and not removed, but I'll turn it up to remove it. So just to make the vaxing part a bit more easy, I'm just going to lower the electronic control down a little bit. just going to go over if I can push it on high power without releasing any of the solution, just to remove any of the excess. So first I'll turn the motor up, and then the solution isn't flowing anymore, so we're just using suction now. So really, this is pretty powerful, really too powerful for this particular mat. On a normal carpet, it'd probably be easier to push. I'm just going to clean the rest of this mat then, and we'll just give it a little look at the dirty tank, just to see if it has removed any of the hidden dirt in this doormat here. Well, I'm absolutely cream crackered, as the saying goes, because that is hard work. Traditional waxing is hard work. Thank goodness now we have upright carpet washers that are far, far easier to use. I mean, it's not made any easier with this particular rubber-backed entrance mat. It's very hard. When the suction's on full, it just pulls it into the nozzle. But anyway, the carpet in the room smells lovely and fresh. I went over the whole carpet on the lower setting while I was dispensing the solution, and then I went over it again on the highest setting to remove all the excess moisture, and that won't take long to dry at all. That it has brought up quite a lot of the moisture in the carpet. I'm out of breath, but it's a good workout anyway. If you want to lose some calories, get a traditional wax. Right then, let's have a look inside. I did have to open it up because it did foam up quite excessively, because this mat has been shampooed a lot. So I used some of the vintage defoamer, so I'll see how successful that was. We'll just take off the motor unit, and we'll put the tank, the clean tank, to one side. And it's just a mass of foam really, can't see much. I just got a whiff of something, not a whiff, a sight of some quite dirty water. What I'll do, like they do on those home shopping channels, I'll get a bowl and pour it into a clear bowl, and then we might be able to see more clearly underneath all the foam, see if this old wax has removed any dirt. Right, I've got my clear Pyrex bowl here, and we're just going to pour out, probably not all of it, it won't all fit in there, we'll pour out some of it into the bowl, and we'll just see how much dirt we've got. Well, that is a big bowl, isn't it? I did actually fit all of it in. Right, there's a few gritty particles in the bottom of that. I don't know if you can quite see them, but there are some little bits that weren't visible on the carpet. I didn't vacuum first. Rookie mistake, you must always vacuum your carpets before you wash them. But anyway, that defoamer seems to work quite well. I don't know, I think after... There it is, look. That is quite dirty. So it has managed to actually, despite this mat being cleaned just a week ago, it has found dirt. Obviously if your carpets haven't been cleaned very often or at all, this will be a lot darker. Well folks, I've retired to the living room now, and I'm going to demonstrate a little bit of upholstery action using the small upholstery nozzle. Now it's very simple to use for upholstery. You just take off the main carpet washing head and the two extension tubes, and then you put the small upholstery head directly onto the handle, and then as per the instructions you wrap round the excess tube here. Now what it doesn't have in the instructions is using the clips, but I find if you put the clips either side of your coiled tube, it helps to keep it all in one place. So now we've got, with upholstery, it's probably best to control the solution a bit more than when you're shampooing a carpet. So you can actually, instead of having the solution on all the time, using this switch, may be better for upholstery to actually use the release trigger here. So always, and I'm not going to, I'm going to risk it, but normally before you wash any upholstery or any carpet really, you're supposed to do a little test in an inconspicuous area. Just use the machine like at the back or the underside of a cushion. Use the machine on a small area, let the solution dry completely, and then as long as it doesn't look terrible, as long as it just looks like a cleaned patch, you should be okay to do the rest. This is just a footstool which we got to put our feet up, you know, on the sofa. It hardly ever gets used. It just stays in the bay window. But anyway, the dogs like it. As we thought, it's not really for us. The dogs have claimed it as a nice raised bed, especially Princess Daisy, wherever she is. Oh, she's asleep. Should I get her to show you? I've had some requests, or a request, to show my dogs. So I'll just go and get little Daisy and pop her on here, and then we'll continue with the video. Well, here she is, thrust into the limelight. She didn't want to be, did you? She doesn't like the limelight. She likes her privacy, does Princess Daisy, don't you? Are you going to say something to the YouTube viewers and listeners? No? Going to say sausages? No, she's no talent whatsoever. Have you? You've no talent apart from manipulating human beings to get what you want. So this is Daisy. So she's one of the animals that I have to clean up after. Molly is somewhere else. Yes, what are you sniffing? Can you smell the lovely fresh Vax solution? So this is one of Daisy's dog beds, you see. And she likes to recline on this and have her tummy stroked. But of course, as pet lovers know, pets can cause mess when they're puppies, obviously with the house training, and when they're adult dogs they can be sick, but they just generally bring all sorts of nasty things on their paws, and then they jump up all over your lovely furniture. So that's where a carpet washer with upholstery washing function comes in handy, doesn't it, Daisy? And of course, if you put dog shampoo into the reservoir of your Vax, you can use the Vax to give your dogs a good shampooing. But no, I wouldn't recommend that. You wouldn't want that, would you, Daisy? No. So I'll just move Daisy off, and we'll just give the top of this footstool a little bit of a vaxing with this upholstery nozzle. So we've got washing solution in the clean water tank. We've got the upholstery nozzle attached, it's all ready to go, and I'm going to squeeze the trigger this time to release the solution. We'll just do a little bit of this footstool. I've got it on the washing setting on the machine, on the lower suction, so all we have to do is turn on. Obviously, a little problemo. There is a kink. I have a kink in my tube, which is quite common with this sort of setup. So I will just relax my coil somewhat. I can see where it's kinked. Just work it between my finger and thumb. Hopefully that's done it. Take two. Double balls and bollocks. Right, I've had a few problems getting the solution to flow. I'm not having any problems now. It's flowing too freely now. Let me try and... is that off? That's off. Or is it on? It's on. What I failed to do, as per the instructions, let's hold that up out the way. You're supposed to, because this isn't a pumped operated machine, anything you're cleaning that's higher than the cleaner itself won't clean very effectively. So you need to raise the machine up. So I've put it on a coffee table here, so it's fairly secure there. So I'm not sure how this is going to cope with stairs. It might do stairs okay actually. I'll do a test on some stairs. It'll be okay doing the stairs if you have the machine at the top and do the lower stairs, then that'll be fine, but I'm not sure how it would go about cleaning the stairs from the bottom up midway. But like I say, all the modern Vax cleaners you can get now of this type do have a pump, so that wouldn't be an issue. So before this dribbles any more all over my footstool, we'll give it another go and see if it works. It should do now I've raised the machine. Well, I've cleaned the footstool, didn't take very long, and obviously it's still damp to the touch. I went over it again on full power to remove any excess moisture, but I don't expect to find any dirt really in the tank because this is only a couple of months old, but it gives you peace of mind when you wash anything, when you carpet wash or you wash your upholstery, even if it doesn't look dirty and the dirty solution that you pour out doesn't seem very dirty, you've got the peace of mind of knowing that you've cleaned it. You see, you don't have to see the dirt to know that could be all sorts of nasty things on this footstool, because like I say, the dogs use it as a raised bed, and we don't know what the dogs have stepped in, what they're bringing in, if they're cleaning themselves, licking their paws on this and dribbling on it. It's not very nice, is it? But now it's been vaxed, and I know that in an hour or so that will be dry and lovely and fresh. So we do have some disadvantage, a major disadvantage with this older Vax, the fact that we have to raise it above whatever we're cleaning. This is certainly true for upholstery, but I'm thinking on stairs it might fare better because the suction will have more of a chance to pull the solution through on a stair carpet than it might on upholstery. So I'm going to see how far I can get up the stairs with this machine, non-pumped machine, before the solution stops flowing to the nozzle. Right, before I start on the stairs, I'll just tell you how many stairs it gets up before you need to move the machine. It gets up about 6 stairs. You can clean 6 stairs comfortably. And I might as well start on the top step just to see, with the machine at the bottom of the stairs, just to see if I can still clean the stairs without a pump to assist the solution. Right, I've got the clean on the 6th step. I'm going to switch the machine on. There's already solution pumped to the nozzle, so let's see if the Vax cleaner can actually continue to shampoo with the nozzle considerably higher than the base unit. Now that is a fail, I'm afraid, using the setting that Vax suggests. So I'm going to try it. I'm going to put it on maximum and just see if the suction, the extra suction, will help to pull the solution through to the nozzle. So I'll just turn up the power and give it another go. Unfortunately, bang goes my idea of being able to use this machine on the stairs. It just can't cope because it doesn't have a pump. It's not strong enough to get the shampoo flowing upwards. So it's fine for upholstery and your carpets, although hard work, but for your stairs, I'm afraid this one, it's a big fail. So that about concludes this demo video of the Vax 2100 shampooing. All in all, it's not bad for what I paid for it, considering it's a vintage model and it was made in the UK. Certainly better made, I would say, than the Vax canisters you can get now that are made in China. But of course the main advantage of the canisters you can buy now is the addition of an extra switch here that controls the pump. So you have a slightly different way of connecting it. The tube fits into a little hole here, a little connection here, you twist it, and then it's actually pump fed through the tube, which will improve your above floor cleaning 100%. But for a bit of vacuum cleaner history, made in Droitwich, England, it's quite a nice thing to have, and I'm quite impressed with its carpet cleaning ability using the standard carpet washing head, and it's fine for upholstery as well. I can see myself using it for upholstery, and possibly, although I haven't tested it yet, inside the car would probably be okay using this, but I won't be testing it. The car's quite new and doesn't need washing. The upholstery doesn't need washing yet, but it will do at some stage. But all in all, for 60 quid, I'm pretty impressed with this old Vax cleaner. And also, it's relatively quiet, certainly quiet than a pneumatic George. The pneumatic George is pretty robust and obviously has a pump system, so it is better for your above floor cleaning, and you don't have the palaver of having to clip this tube to the hose. It's actually built onto, it's actually moulded onto the hose of the George, so it's a little bit easier for setup. So it's fiddly to set up, but for when it was introduced, the Vax cleaner was pretty good for its time, but things have moved on now. In 2014, there are far better options really for keeping your home spick and span. Thanks for watching. If you've any questions, don't bother, because I don't know how to answer them anymore on this silly new YouTube. Something's been changed, hasn't it? Anyway, I'll try and answer them if I can, but I'm never sure if you've actually got the responses. But there you go. Stay tuned for more. I will be uploading a few more videos quite shortly. If you've enjoyed this one, get a life. If you haven't enjoyed this one, well, what have you watched it till this stage for then? If you don't like it, don't watch it. That's what I say. Anyway, if you have enjoyed it, you have liked it, you have watched it, my job is done. See you soon.